Long
isn't it?
time. Yes.
Yeah. So how have you been?
All good so far.
So nice, so nice. And I can see a nice picture right behind you. Like I can see a painting. So
Yes.
that's wonderful. Okay, so let me introduce you to everyone over here. So, kids, please welcome Miss Anamika Sarkar. Like we told you, she is a very renowned artist. Okay, and she is. I have seen her work. It's tremendous. It's marvelous, and she is an entrepreneur. She takes a lot of workshops. Okay, she takes classes, and she takes a lot of efforts in making all those beautiful artworks. So, Anamika ma'am, very warm welcome to the session of
Thank you.
ours.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are going to start with a little bit of interview. So, we'll be asking you questions to understand what keeps you going. Okay, and today we have actually been talking about career paths, like, alternative career paths or hidden career paths. So today's session is all about, if anyone wants to make a career in the field of art, so what they can do, like what is the prospect in that, and how do you enjoy it? So all these kind of questions we are going to barge you with. All right, so I
Right.
hope you are ready for it.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so the very first question that we would like to ask you is like, we would like to know a little bit more about you, like where you are and stuff like that. So if you can tell us something more about you.
See, I did my master's in museology, that is preservation and conservation of museum objects. But after that, I did my B.Ed and I was teaching in schools. And after my marriage happened, I was totally into teaching kids, and also I have always been teaching. And 6.5 years back, I had to quit my job for my own good reasons. And that is when I picked up this passion of mine. That is when I realized that let me start something of my own and let me chase my passion. So it just happened. I had never planned for anything such, but the passion was there inside me, and it just all of a sudden happened, and I continued. I that it That's when I realized that this is giving me immense joy and happiness. So why not just take it ahead? That's what I felt, and that's what when it all started happening.
Wow. So like when you said museology, right?
Yes.
Okay, that is like entirely different. Like
Different.
I
Yes.
can't even think of that. I don't think so. I've ever thought of something called as museology, and now you're an artist, you're an
Yes.
entrepreneur. So that's like a huge difference.
Poles apart. Yes.
Yeah, they're poles apart, and that is
Yes,
so amazing.
that is what that is what happens when you realize your actual passion. That is what I feel. And maybe it is hidden somewhere inside you, and you had always been thinking of something else, doing of something else. But then when you actually realize what you really love doing, everything falls into place and everything works for you. And the
Wow.
best part is, since you're getting a lot of happiness out of it, you don't feel that you always have that kind of energy which keeps you going. You don't feel tired, and you don't get bogged up doing those work, and you don't force yourself to do that particular work which you're not enjoying. So this is something which is like I just love doing.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing to know. So we want to know a little bit more, like So when did you exactly know that you have to start doing your own thing, your own business, and it's going to be art and craft? Like, what brought this
See, back
change?
back in 2016, I was still working with one of the renowned schools of Pune. But since my son was very small at that point of time, I had to leave it because I had to give him a lot of time. So as it is, I was into art and craft. I won't say that I was totally away from it. I used to, do some DIY projects and make, bottle art and paintings and stuff like that. And I used to give it to my friends and relatives. So in fact, my friends and they started pushing me. They started telling me, why don't you do it professionally? So that's when I realized, okay, let me just try. And like I said, since you love it, since you are getting some happiness out of it, it just happened, So everything fell into places. Then I started, doing a lot of research work, going through a lot of videos, and I took some professional courses as well. So that helped me, and that is how it all began, and that is how I'm still doing it.
Wow, that's just amazing to know. And I am getting questions from kids, a lot of questions. So don't worry, you will get time to ask ma'am a lot of questions. You can interact with her. Okay, but let me just finish a little bit of questions so that we get to know a little more about her, and then I'll open the forum to all the people, to all the kids over here to ask questions. Okay, all right. So you have a lot of things to do, because being an entrepreneur means working on a lot of fronts. You have to you have to talk to clients, you have to plan, you have to organize. Okay, so my question is like, how do you do this? How do you plan, organize, and prioritize your work and your day?
See, the thing is that before I get into any particular project, I plan it. I plan it means that is the only thing that keeps running in my mind. How do I go about it? How do I do it? So it's like I give my whole and soul into it, and I plan it. And the best time for me to work is obviously at night, when my kid is like sleeping or my hubby is sleeping. So that is the best time when I work. So all these things keep I do a lot of brainstorming, I do a lot of research, I go through the net, and then I jot down my points, and then I start off. And as an artist, what you have planned may not be like you end up with the same thing. You might change in between. So that, and I keep working till the time I am satisfied. That is what I do. And thankfully it comes out well, and if it gets appreciated, it is that is what I ask for, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
yes, I do jot it down, I do make a plan, and jotting down the points and doing a lot of research work, going through the net. Nowadays everything is over the net, so that is the best part. Unlike when we used to have go to the library, sit and all. So that thing is, thankfully, the best part is kids, they get everything out on their, like, just a click away. So yes, that is what I do.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you actually, so when you get an order, when you are going to have a workshop, or when you take classes, you have got all that, planned accordingly, and you have got ideas going
Absolutely,
on.
that is actually very important. See, if you take your work, it's no doubt you're liking your work, you're loving your work, that is your passion, that is one thing. But you have to be very methodical about it. You have to be very you have to jot down the points. You have to know what all you will be doing, and once you have done it, you know how you're going to go about it. So that the first time is always a risk, but then you just get into it. You get into the groove, and you know how to go about it. But yes, you have to definitely plan and do a lot of kind of research work. That is very important at any stage, at any stage.
Okay, perfect. So how does your, a typical day look like? Like when you start in the morning, and by the time you go off to sleep at night. So how does a typical
See,
day
the
look
whole
like for
day is
Anamika?
a total roller coaster for me, especially with the latest situation. Everyone is at home. So, doing the household chores, I don't know what comes and what goes out. But then, yes, I get my own time during the afternoons and during the night. That is when I work. That is when I,
Just a second.
online classes, maybe do teaching and all. Can you hear me, Priyanka?
Yeah, yeah, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah. So usually in the afternoon, when people are not, I mean, you have you have finished off your household chores and everything. That is the best part about what I am doing right now. You can take care of your family, you can take care of your home, as well as indulge in what you like doing and run your show. That is the best thing. But yes, that is what the afternoons and the night time, they are the best time for me, I believe.
Okay. So my next question is like, what is the longest time you have spent on any project, like only one project, or maybe on one order or one workshop? And what is the smallest time you have spent on a project or an artwork?
Okay. The least I have spent is, I think, within minutes when you're doing some sort of card making or thank you notes. Whenever I give my orders or, I am sending my orders, I always make sure that, you get something handmade, small handmade, something which, it gives that extra touch to your makes. So that I think is the least, time I have given up. It's like hardly 5 to 10 minutes, tuck, 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 you finish it off.
Okay.
And longest, I know, when we are doing those resin work, then you have to devote a lot of time, because every time you have to keep a gap of 24 hours. So that wait period is quite long. But as such, I don't keep a track. I can do it the whole day. So, I cannot say how long I have been. So I can do it anytime.
Okay, maybe like 3-4 days at a stretch, you are working on one
Yeah,
artwork.
I remember I had worked for one, there was a flea market which was supposed to be on. And continuously, I think for 7 days, I was like working, 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 and made hell lot of projects. And I was very happy. But the last moment, it got cancelled because of Corona.
Oh, that's real shame, real shame. The last 2 years
But
have
that's
been
okay.
just
That's fine, because I enjoyed working. No matter how many pieces I have to make, I can do it. I can just keep going. It never makes me feel tired or something.
okay. So I know that for most of us, art and craft is something, a way to de-stress ourselves.
Yes.
Okay, and it's just a big stress buster. But for an artist and an entrepreneur whose work itself is like art and craft, how do you de-stress yourself? Like what other things that you do?
This is only a de-stress therapy for me. I have never thought. Yes, I do indulge myself at times, reading or listening to some music, but that is like simultaneously while I'm doing art. Reading, obviously, when I lie down a bit, maybe I read, but very less. I mean, it is not at all an often thing. But this is how I de-stress. Whether it is my work, whether it is an order, this is a de-stress therapy. That is the best part about it. That is what I just love doing. So it is a
Yeah.
de-stress. Even at night, even when I get into fights, I think I de-stress myself doing art.
So I can imagine you having a fight with your husband and then you're going to sit and make a
Yes.
project, a quick
Yes.
artwork. That's really nice.
I remember, the first mixed media pop project that, popped out of my head was when I actually had a fight. And the only song that was coming to my mind was I Want to Break Free, and I made my first project. That is
That's amazing. So yeah, that's really wonderful when you realize that you don't even feel like you're working. You're like you're relaxing all the time.
yes, that is the best thing. That is the best thing.
Okay, so my next question is like, what is that biggest achievement that you think you have or you have accomplished in your career as an artist, as an entrepreneur?
See, as such, I think the recognition that comes along with your hard work, that is the biggest achievement one always gets. People know you by name, and they give you that kind of respect, not only in your own maybe fraternity, but when it is like an online thing, and the entire country knows you, or maybe even people abroad, they get to know you. I think that is the biggest achievement that one can get.
Yeah.
That is
So
the best thing. People know you by your name. That is the best thing. Yeah.
absolutely. In fact, let me tell you, kids, Anamika ma'am is very, very, very well known all throughout the Indian community, not just Indian community of crafters, but even international community of crafters. Like almost
Oh,
everyone
thank
knows
you.
her. And she has been a design team member for, very big stores and brands which deal in art and craft supplies like Itsy Bitsy. You have been a guest designer. No, sorry. You have been a design team member for Itsy Bitsy and Craft Treat, right?
Yeah.
So, how was the experience being a design team member?
Oh, that's excellent. Actually, you get that kind of a platform where you get to show your work. That is the best thing, and people slowly get to know you and know you in person as well, because these these craft stores, especially Itsy Bitsy, they organize classes as well, weekend classes. Now everything is come to a standstill, but usually that time, like a year back, we used to have these classes live at their stores. So you get to meet a lot of people, you get to know them, interact with them. It's a wonderful thing. And then you get to experiment a lot. Maybe, when you're sitting at home, with your own craft supplies, you maybe you might be having few restrictions, but when you're giving the opportunity to work with certain products, you feel like making more. You give your best, so that the entire community, they get to know you, they get to know your work. So it's an amazing thing, I think.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, my next question is like, can you tell us about a difficult situation that you faced with a client or with your work, and how did you overcome it? Like anything like happened?
See, with clients, yes, you do get to face difficulties at some point of time. Sometimes they are very over demanding. Sometimes they don't realize that you need to give the artist her liberty to work. That's when the beauty of the thing comes up. So maybe you have made something, and then they give their own ideas and the entire project gets spoiled. Then you feel bad and the client refuses. So at times it has happened, but mostly I am okay with it. I am always ready to take it up as a challenge and make the few changes that he or she asks for. So happy client and happy me. That's how it's always better to take it as a challenge. Better not to grudge and keep cribbing about it. Just take it up as a challenge, redo it. See, you only learn from your mistakes, and that's giving you more opportunity, I feel. So that's
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so my next question is like, there are so many art and craft, techniques and different forms that you do. So, can you tell us some of the forms of art and craft that you do, and which one do you like the most? Like, you really like doing it?
I am into mural art, then palette knife painting, mixed media art, decoupage, and at present, I enjoy making resin art. So at present, if you ask me what is my passion, there are two actually. One is the resin art, and the other one is mixed media. Both I just enjoy. I love doing basically.
Awesome, awesome. And I just have to stop asking questions because I've got a barrage of questions from the kids who want to ask you a lot of questions. So, kids, now if you want, you can write your questions in the chat box, okay? And I will ask ma'am on your behalf. So let me see what is the very first question that I got. Okay, so the first question that I got was, what inspires you the most? And that is by Akshita.
Okay, Akshita, inspiration. You can get your inspiration from anywhere, whether it is nature, whether it is someone else's artwork, whether it is life itself. I pick up inspirations from any point. When even while walking on the road, maybe you'll find a sudden inspiration. You look at a tree, its leaves, its flowers. You just get that kind of an inspiration. You start working towards it, and maybe you get ideas. You then club your ideas and make few projects. So maybe a particular event has happened in your life, and that's what has inspired you in making it. Like I said, the very first mixed media project I made was when I had a fight with my
Yeah.
husband. So
Okay, that's wonderful. And
that's when
actually,
you
I
get
do agree with you. Like as an artist, every single thing, like just like absolutely like you said, you're walking on the road, you're just taking a stroll, and you just see something, and the idea clicks in your mind. Like, oh yeah, something can
it
be made
clicks,
out of
yes.
that. So that's amazing. Okay, I've got another question from you, and this is from okay, this is from Riyansh. Which artist is your favorite and why?
I wouldn't say that one artist is my favorite. There are many, but yes, I am in love with uh, someone called Antonis Zanidakis, and I am in love with his work and the way he teaches. I have had the opportunity of taking classes from this particular artist, and he's just amazing. And he's a mixed media artist, and I am totally in love with his work. Yes.
Oh yeah, I've seen his work. Like last year, he was there in India, right? Last year?
Last to last year,
Last to last year. Yes,
2019.
yes, yes.
Yes.
So yes, absolutely. Okay, I've got another question from Sarthak, and he is asking, like, have you ever been your painting? Has your paintings ever been in an exhibition? And if yes, what is your experience? How was your experience?
No, I have actually, since my husband is in the forces, so at times we get posted to very remote areas where we don't get the opportunity like this. But yes, I had the plan of doing an exhibition in Delhi, but everything got messed up because of the ongoing scenario. But no, till date, I haven't had the experience of conducting or taking part in an exhibition. But yes, definitely, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Okay. So again, the question section is on. So anyone else who wants to ask any question? Okay, I can see Ashmit, Yashmit. Okay, Yashmit is learning how to paint. He's learning the paintings. I think he's getting a course, and he's asking, "Can I show you some of them?"
Oh yes, definitely.
Yes, Yashmit. Yes, you can bring and you can show. So I'll quickly add him to the spotlight. Okay. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I cannot see Ashmit's.
Okay. I have added him to the. I guess you have to. If you're
Oh,
on.
beautiful! Very nice, Yashmit. Excellent work. Excellent. Excellent. You must continue it. Excellent. Wow.
Oh, it looks
Very
like
nice.
gold painting, right?
Very nice. Excellent.
Awesome. Good job, Yashmit. Okay. Welcome. All right. And I've got another question. You don't have to answer that, but still it's a question, so I will ask. How do you, like, what do you charge approximately for your art pieces? And that is a question by Sarah.
See, it all depends on how much you have put in, and how much work you have put in, how much materials you have put in, and it all depends on that. So I usually don't think of like how to go about it, but whatever I feel like, I just, mostly my artworks, they go as gifts. We have loads of friends, and
Yeah.
they are just waiting for them. So
Agreed.
they all
Agreed.
go. They all go as such.
Agreed.
So,
Actually,
but usually,
yeah.
Tell me, Priyanka.
No, I was just saying, like, we just make because we love making, like as an artist.
Yes.
It's a little difficult to put
See,
prices
what I have realized is the moment you make because you want to sell it, the monetary part starts budging in. Then it becomes a bit of a load for you. You feel, okay, let me just finish it off and let me just sell it off. So that shouldn't be how it should be. That shouldn't be the way you should work. You make it, you enjoy it, and then if you feel like selling it, or maybe you can just give it off as a gift, it's okay, that's fine. But you have the price which you are getting is, you have got your own piece of happiness, and you are fulfilled from inside. So that's it. And yes, definitely, if someone is paying you, you feel more happy.
Yeah, definitely. Because you feel, the work that you have put in, the efforts that you have put in, that is being appreciated.
Appreciated. Yes. Yes.
And being an entrepreneur, it's all about, at the end, of course, you have to get something, you have to pay your bills, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, yeah.
So that is where Priyanka, that is when I realized that instead of running after like picking up orders and all, that is when I started giving classes, because that is something which fetches me some sort of money, as well as I enjoy teaching, because I had been a teacher throughout. So I enjoy teaching, and and you get to make also at the same time, and people are appreciating also your work.
Exactly. So taking classes is, I think, a accumulation of all the things that you want
Yes,
out of art
yes.
and craft and being an entrepreneur.
But definitely you have to reach that kind of a confidence level, and you have to reach that kind of a level where you will be able to teach, inside out of that particular art form, and then only get into that field. Definitely.
True. So you have to become an expert in that before you start taking classes or start taking
Yes,
workshops.
yes, yes. At least, it is not like I have seen people, learning a particular art form. The next day itself, they start doing it. But that's when you are restricting yourself. You are not giving the entire thing to the others. You have to be confident enough to give it to others. And then some people, what I have seen is they are very insecure about, teaching. So that insecurity shouldn't be in you, because see, your creativity, no one can take it.
Absolutely.
Someone can definitely copy you. Someone can definitely, but that creativity is what is there inside here. So it will come off, and it will be, and your work, no matter what, however, whatever people are trying to copy you, but your work will be different because it has come from you.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. Okay, I've got another question. Like, how many paintings did you have done till now? Like,
Paintings, I am at present not much into painting. The one which you can see at the back, that is one of mine. And I think maximum maybe 10 or 11 pieces I have made. But I do a lot of craft work at present.
so maybe is it possible for
And
you
yes,
to?
resin art, I think at least 50 odd pieces I must have made.
Wow, that's
So
amazing. Like resin craft definitely take a lot of time, and
yes,
they take a lot of patience. They need a lot of
patience.
patience.
Patience. And but what I like in that particular art form is you get to play with a lot of colors, and they are very unpredictable. When you pour those particular colors, you don't know what the end result is going to be. So that is the best
Absolutely.
thing. That is the best thing. That is what I enjoy a lot.
Lovely. Okay, I've got a question for you. Like from my end, like
Yes.
if you want to, give an advice to a child who is only thinking about making a career or joining a profession from a mainstream, career path. So anything that you would like to tell that child?
See what I have attained from my life experiences. What I have realized is your mainstream career is definitely there for you, but you have to have a passion, something which you enjoy. So if art and craft is something which you enjoy, with the proper kind of hard work, and with if you are actually genuinely chasing your passion, chasing your dream, then definitely success is bound to come to you. You know, success is definitely going to come to you. So mainstream, yes, definitely you want to become you're a doctor or an engineer or a CA, a professional uh, person. That's fine, but never let go of your dreams. Never. Always keep that passion in yourself. Just to de-stress yourself, just to make you feel happy. That is very important. If your mind is at ease, if you're happy from within, then everything works fine. You don't get tensed, and your output is tremendous. you know
Absolutely. So I think, I guess, I can say that even if a child wants to follow a mainstream career path, but that passion inside him or her should never die.
yes, never, and he can pick it up at any point of time. There is no age of, I mean, you shouldn't be thinking, oh, I am too old, I cannot learn. No, definitely no, you can learn at any point of time. Definitely.
Okay. So that brings us to another question. So there is a question from Avin. He wanted to ask that you want to become an artist from the beginning, or did you do it later? So I guess Avin missed
Oh,
that
much
part.
later, much later. No, I have understood. I was an artist, maybe like I said, uh, out of passion. I always used to paint. I used to love painting. And I was actually a good during my school days I had art as a subject. We in my school till 10th you had a sixth subject which used to fetch you marks as well. So art was my subject and I used to do pretty well. It's not that I scored 98 out of 100. So I
Wow.
did pretty well, but since I was into a mainstream, like you said, I took up science and I did my graduation and then I did my masters and then I went into teaching. So all these things were somewhere hidden. And then suddenly it just popped up, and it was always there in me. So I always wanted to take it up. I always wanted to take up sculpting and painting and crafting. So I always used to make these small DIYs and enjoy myself. So it was always there.
Okay, so we have got another question from Avin, and he wants to know, like, did you learn all these kind of techniques and craft work from somewhere, or you just...
Mostly it is self-taught, but yes, I have taken few professional courses. See, these professional courses add that extra zing to your techniques, and you get to know the particular art form in a much detailed way, in much closer way. You get to know the inside out. So yes, I have taken a few, but mostly it is like through lot of research and experimentation, I would say.
Trial and error method.
Yes, absolutely. And at one point of time, you will realize that this is my style. This is what I like doing. This is how I like doing, and you will be doing it that way.
So I guess as an artist, it's really important to develop your own sense of style, your own signature style with your own artwork.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. All right, we have got another question, and Deepshika wants to ask, from what age did you start your career? Like, she wants to know your exact age when you started. Okay, like, okay, fine.
See, if you ask me, like I said, like 7, almost 7, I think 2015, 2016, I started taking this up very seriously. And quite late in my life, I think she wants to know my age basically, so I'll tell her my age. I'm 43 right now. So it happened like 6 years back, so you can just take account of it.
Almost 37, 36 years of age.
36, 37. Yes, 36, 37.
So it's never too late to start what you love.
Never. You can even start it when you're 50s or 60s. Till the time your hands and your legs and your eyes and everything are perfect, so you can just keep going anytime.
Absolutely. And now actually that brings me, like what you said before, that you took professional courses to know in depth about a certain technique or certain craft form. So I guess there is no age limit to when you can start learning also.
No, not at all. Definitely not at all. You can learn anytime. You can start off anytime. And age is just a number. Age is just a number.
All right. I've got another question for you, and it says that, okay, so another question is, like, can you tell us anything about any like, if I'm a person who wants to pursue my career in art, so is it important for me to take degrees in arts or something like that, and some sort of courses like fine arts or something, or is it okay, I can start on my own?
When you do want to take it up like as your total career, as you want to take it up professionally, then definitely I would suggest, yes, you do need these you do need to go for a fine art maybe college and do well, because that is where you actually learn the nitty-gritties. But if you want to keep it as your passion, as something which you just want to do while de-stressing yourself, and don't want to take it up, because very frankly speaking, the initial years of any artist, whether it is Indian, whether it is abroad, you have to face a lot of struggle. So if you are okay with that, if you are and always remember that success comes after many failures. So just if you want to take it up as a profession, you want to become professional artist, then yes, you need that kind of a schooling or a college. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, I've got another question from Avan. He's asking whether you ever regret taking up being an artist as a proper career option at any time till now. Have you ever regretted, like
Proper career option? I didn't get.
you started you joined a career path of being an artist, being an entrepreneur. So have you ever regretted it till now?
No, never. In fact, I'm enjoying this more than when I used to be what I used to do back then.
So basically, that is what he was asking. Like, do you ever regret leaving the prestigious teaching job in a school, and now you are doing your own
I
thing?
don't regret leaving the job, but I do regret, interacting with those kids, because I remember them very clearly, almost each and every one. I do, because still, I remember when I was in Calcutta, I was teaching in, again, a very renowned school, and that child was in second standard. And today he has joined IIT, and he gives me a call and tells me, ma'am, I have got through IIT. So that kind of things are like non-existent at this point of time. But I never have regretted what I have done in my life, whether it was teaching or whether now what I'm doing, being an entrepreneur, and I'm still teaching. That is the best thing. So no, I have
So that
I have not
teaching
regret.
thing
I
never
have no
dies
regrets.
out.
Yes.
Okay. And he actually asked, like, if you, okay, and how did you deal with it? I guess that was a part of the question, that even if you regret it, then how you dealt with that regret. So I guess that's not a valid question anymore, because you don't regret leaving
Yes,
it
I
at
do.
all. Okay. So any other question, you can still ask questions. And I've got another question for you. Like, people generally, it's an Indian mentality in Indian society. Like, parents always urge their kids to take up mainstream career paths, which is like a huge thing right now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is because they are not aware of alternate career paths, or they don't want to think about it, or they think only the mainstream career paths is, they are really fulfilling in terms of finances and getting a settled life. And the kids who want to take up different career options which are not like really mainstream, so anything that you want to tell those children who want to choose non mainstream career paths, any advice that you would like to give them?
Yeah, definitely. You just see, my only advice to any kid will be, do whatever gives you happiness. Enjoy your work. Whenever you enjoy your work, your output automatically, is like more than 100%. So if you want to go to the mainstream, you should enjoy it. If you don't want to go to the mainstream, even things like photography and all, these people are also doing immensely well. So you need to channelize and frame out your career likewise, and chase your dream, and work with passion, and success will come to you. So don't keep any regrets in life. Bindas karo, do it.
Amazing. So if you love anything, just take a step and just do it.
Yes.
That's
Like
awesome.
I am very poor in Hindi, but I believe there is a saying that goes, पूरी शिद्दत से जिसको मांगो पूरी कायनात जुट जाती है उसको मिलाने के लिए. So it is likewise, you just go
Awesome.
ahead and do it.
Awesome. That's awesome. So just live out your passion.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so any other question? Anyone else who wants to ask a question? Okay, I think Tanav wanted to show you some paintings.
Okay.
Tanav, you still want to show your paintings? Okay, let me.
Ma'am, I have drawings, not paintings.
Okay, sure. You can show the drawings if you want. So, would you like to show your drawings, Tanav? Because he already asked me in the chat box. Okay, I'll just put him in the spotlight. Yeah, that's Tanav.
Okay. I cannot see Tanav.
I guess you have to just swipe.
Yeah, got it, Tanav. Yeah. Lovely. Very nice.
Okay, so all these kids are very enthusiastic about art and craft, and it's really amazing to see.
Wow. Beautiful.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah, I love the bird.
Yeah, that was really colorful bird. I loved it.
Oh,
Oh, that's
wow.
nice.
This is the best, Tanav. Excellent.
Very good, Tanav. Very nice. Okay, that brings to all right, Tanav, thank you so much for showing us your drawings. That was really nice. And that brings to ask me if Anamika ma'am, you can show us some of your work. Is it possible for you to
Okay.
show us some of your work? We can see what kind of things you make.
And most of my artworks are like hanging up on the wall. So I'll just turn my camera and excuse
Sure.
my room.
We have got eyes only for your craft work and artwork.
I don't know. I'll just turn. This is one of my, initial days palette knife art, which I had made.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. That's like, it has got real depth in it. Like it looks three-dimensional almost.
How do I turn my video?
Turn this and click on more. No?
No. Okay. This is an ocean art.
Okay, this is the resin work that you were talking about.
No.
That's amazing.
Okay, and I'll just show you one more, 2-3 more, in fact, that is there in my basically lobby area. So I'll just.
Meanwhile, kids, you can still ask the questions. You can write them in the chat box and I'll ask on your behalf.
These are some of the artwork which
Wow.
I have done.
So these frames you have made yourself, right?
Yes,
Wow,
absolutely.
that's just
This
amazing.
is a geode mirror which I had made. This one.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And this is again a life-size geode.
Wow, that's really huge.
Yeah, that's around 3 by 2.
Wow, 3 feet by 2 feet, right?
And these are some of the plates. Yes.
Lovely, lovely. And these are okay. These are also lovely
These are
stuff.
the plates.
Beautiful.
These are the
So that's very, very different kind of art form. We generally don't see it in market or in, even on online stores. You don't find these kind of art and craft forms a lot.
So that is the best part about handmade stuff. You get that exclusive thing that is one piece just made exclusively for you. So that is the best.
Lovely. Okay, I've got another question, and Avin wants to know, ma'am, where are you currently living in? Which city?
I am in Delhi right now.
Okay, so she's from Delhi. She is in Delhi, and you are from Kolkata, basically.
Yes.
Okay. So let me tell you, it has been a wonderful, wonderful session. It has been very informative. And if any kid wants to say something to ma'am, you can raise your hand. I will, and you'll get an opportunity to talk to her. Okay, Tanav wants to say. Tanav, you can unmute yourself and you can say.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you have a lot of drawings. I love some of the drawings. I also want to make some of them.
Absolutely, Tanav. You can make. I'm sure you will do a wonderful job making those paintings.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
All the
Akshita.
best. All the best.
All right, Akshita wants to ask something. Yes, Akshita.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
I have a doubt that you are just doing the resin art and that's your passion. So I just want to know more about resin art. So what basically resin art is? We just saw some of your frames which were covered with resin. I also saw some videos, but I'm not very clear. It's just a gloss kind of a thing, na?
See, Akshita, what happens is resin is a sort of a chemical which comes into different parts. One is the clear resin and the other one is a hardener. So when you mix clear resin along with hardener in a particular ratio, then what happens, it looks just like water, and then you have to control the flow, mix certain amount of pigments or colors in this, and then work on your base. But the only thing is, a child till the age of 15 or 16 shouldn't be handling resin, because after all, number one, it is chemical, and all you children till the age of 16 to 18, you are you are in the growing stage, so that point of time, we recommend not to handle resin. So once you are an adult, you can definitely explore this art form, and it is a wonderful art form. You have to keep certain things in mind, and wear gloves and stuff like that, because you're working with an open, you have to work in an open space. But it's a wonderful art form. So it is a chemical which looks just like water, but when you mix these two parts, it becomes hard. So it gives you a glass-like finish, as if you have worked on the glass.
In fact, a lot of resin artists, like even though they are like really matured age and all, they still follow a lot of precautions while they are working with resin, because at the end of the day, it is a chemical. It gives off fumes. Yeah.
So what can be the harms can happen to us? Like,
see, as a child, we definitely recommend not to work with resin. But yes, when you grow up,
being an adult also, what are the things that we have to be careful about?
so the harm, see, when you are observing certain precautions, then definitely the harms, like I have never faced any problem as such, but some people like who are, you usually have, breathing problems or maybe asthmatics, they just cannot take that fume, number one. Number two is you have to wear certain respirators. We have certain masks which filters the fumes. So if you're wearing that, it won't be an issue. And definitely when you're working with resin, you're not spending like 14 hours or 20 hours inside that particular area. Your area should be very well ventilated. You have to wear gloves, nitrile gloves, then you have to wear your respirators, and at times we also wear those glasses, which we use while working with chemicals. So those are the things which we always take precautions when you're overtly exposed to resin. Not that maybe a couple of hours once in a week or twice in a week, that won't matter, definitely.
All right.
So that's why resin is not freely available in the markets.
Resin are available in the market, but the shops which are selling those, they have to have that kind of permits, number one, and number two is there are certain things which they have to undergo. The resin has to clear those points, and then only they can sell it over the counter. So you will never get it over the counter, but since it is an art form, we artists know where to get it from, and we work with that. But we know what are the criteria which that particular brand of resin should fulfill. And there are various types of resin. There are art resin, there are industrial resin, there are resins which behaves like plastic. So you have to know which particular resin to work with, and then only you are safe to work with it.
But after all the resins are harmful.
Sorry?
After all the resins are harmful, and yes, that is absolutely true. And
yeah, because you're using chemicals. They are not harmful as such. When you work one day,
Chemicals are always harmful.
If the particular resin is not fulfilling the particular criteria, and you're not wearing your precautions, you're not taking the particular precaution, then any chemical can be harmful. Why only resin? Even when you're working with plastics and glass, they are also harmful. When you are working with certain chemicals in your artwork, they are also harmful. Even isopropyl alcohol is harmful that way.
True. Thank you, Akshita, for all the questions. And thank you, Anamika ma'am, for answering a barrage of questions that the kids have. And, a lot of information that you have given us, what it means to being an artist and what it means to being an entrepreneur. That has been an amazing, amazing session with you. Thank you for coming over here. Thank you
Thank
for.
you for inviting me, Priyanka. Thank you so much.
It was our pleasure. It was definitely our pleasure. Anything, any last message you want to give to these children who are thinking about, you know, choosing career paths? They are just in the process
There's
of.
two things. Always keep in mind, chase your dreams and follow your passion. That's it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Such a short message, but really crisp, really to the point. That was an amazing thing. Thank you so much, Namika ma'am, for
Thank you,
being over
Priyanka.
here. And I think all the kids, they thoroughly enjoyed today's interview with you. Thank you so much.
Bye. Take care. Bye. Bye,
Thank you,
children.
ma'am. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. kids.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.